A 19-year-old woman disappears without a trace during her night shift at a supermarket. Later, her mother makes a horrific discovery in the bakery section. Her daughter is trapped inside a working industrial oven.
I recently came across this extremely complex case and decided to share it with you. This story, which took place in Canada, has too many unanswered questions. It concerns Gursimran Kaur. Although authorities have officially closed the investigation, her mother is certain the investigators missed something crucial.
Gursimran and her mother moved to Canada from India in 2022. They both worked at the same store in Halifax, hoping to build a stable future there. On the night of October 19, 2024, they reported for work together. After a while, her mother noticed her daughter was missing. She asked her co-workers, but they dismissed it, thinking she was simply busy working on the floor. However, Gursimran wasn't answering her calls, and her phone was out of range, which was completely unusual for her.
The mother began searching every corner of the store. Her search led her and several employees to the bakery area. Approaching a large industrial oven, they noticed something was wrong. Opening the door, they found Gursimran inside. Unfortunately, due to the high temperature, there was no chance of rescue. The police conducted an investigation for about a month. After reviewing security footage and interviewing staff, authorities stated that no signs of foul play were found. Labor inspectors also confirmed that the equipment was in good working order.
However, the family categorically rejects the theory of an accident or voluntary departure. First, Gursimran was a very cheerful person, planning to study medicine and having celebrated a family event just the day before. Second, the oven had an emergency release mechanism, but for some reason it failed to work or was not activated. What do you think? Could this be a serious loss, or is the official version really hiding something?
Disappearing between two cameras. Where did Jessica Zrinski go? 2022.
Jessica Zrinski vanished without a trace after getting into a stranger's car. Between two surveillance camera recordings, she literally vanished, and her whereabouts have been unknown since.
Jessica was 30 years old when she was last seen in Sydney, Australia. She lived with her grandmother and was a very sociable and outgoing person. Her family described her as a wandering soul with a kind heart. At the time of her disappearance, Jessica was going through a difficult time, which may have caused her behavior to sometimes seem unusual.
On the evening of November 28, 2022, Jessica was spotted on camera in several locations around Sydney. At 9:53 p.m., she was captured on camera in the Greenfield Tavern parking lot. 10 minutes later, she drove away in a blue Holden Commodore station wagon. It was later discovered that the driver was 40-year-old Paul Jones. They had not met before that night. The car headed toward the Blue Mountains. The next morning at 9 a.m., it was spotted at a petrol station in Horsley Park. A figure wearing an orange top, the same outfit Jessica was wearing, was visible in the passenger seat. A strange detail: a branch, previously not there, was caught in the passenger door. Just an hour later, at 10:15 a.m., the same car was captured on camera again, but the passenger seat was empty.
On December 1, the driver, Paul Jones, ordered a full dry cleaning and polishing of his car. The car wash staff later claimed they noticed nothing suspicious. The very fact of the urgent cleaning raised questions for the investigators. Since December 2022, Jessica's phone and bank accounts have shown no activity. Police conducted extensive searches in Hampton and Jenolan forests, but found no leads.
Police managed to track down Paul Jones. He refused to cooperate with the investigation or give a statement about that night. In early 2023, he suddenly withdrew a large sum of money and disappeared, but was later discovered in a remote cave in a wooded area of New South Wales. Currently, no charges have been laid in the case. The case has been referred to the Serious Crime Unit, and Jessica's status is officially considered disappearance under suspicious circumstances.
Jessica is blonde, 165 centimeters tall, and has a slim build. She has tattoos on her right index finger, wrist, and neck. The Australian government has offered a $500,000 reward for any information leading to solving this case. If you have any information, please contact Fairfield Police or Crime Stoppers.
Daylight abduction. What happened to Tanetta Yvette Carlisle?
In 1989, 15-year-old Tanetta Carlisle was a high school freshman in Chattanooga, Tennessee. She was the life of the party, sang in the church choir, loved music, and was very attached to her family. March 16, 1989. That day, Tanetta left school around 2:55 p.m. and headed home. She was wearing a pink striped blouse and a denim skirt. Just 5 minutes later, just half a block from home, the unthinkable happened.
Witnesses saw a tan van with Tennessee license plates pull up next to the girl. People, some say one man, jumped out and forced Tanetta into the vehicle, after which it sped away. Witnesses attempted to pursue the kidnappers and immediately reported the van's license plate to the police. Unfortunately, it took police time to reconcile the abduction report with the mother's missing person report. Initially, investigators mistakenly believed the girl might have left on her own, but the family knew Tanetta would never have done such a thing. When investigators finally tracked the vehicle's license plate, LKH920, it led them to 29-year-old Jeffrey Jones. Jones had a shady past and serious legal problems, including convictions for serious crimes. Just 2 months before this incident, he had been involved in another assault. However, they were unable to question him. 2 days after Tanetta's disappearance, Jones's van was found in a wooded area. He was found inside, unresponsive. An autopsy determined that he had taken his own life, leaving no clues as to her whereabouts. Despite a massive search involving 300 volunteers, no trace of Tanetta was ever found. Rumors circulated for years, ranging from the possibility that she was taken to California to theories of forced labor, but none were confirmed. In 2019, the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office officially reopened the case. Investigators are confident that there are still people living in Chattanooga who know part of the puzzle. Detectives are currently searching for anyone who interacted with Jeffrey Jones in the last year of his life. Tanetta's family, her mother Noni and brother Daryl, still have not given up hope of learning the truth. Description at time of disappearance. Height, 155 centimeters. Weight, approximately 43 kilograms. Distinguishing features. Very outgoing, loved rap music, and was a fan of Bobby Brown.
Where did Martin Roberts disappear? 10 years without answers.
Martin Roberts was a 19-year-old college student in Boone, North Carolina. His disappearance in 2016 left more questions than answers, and a note found in his room only added to the mystery. Martin grew up an active young man, loving sports and the beach. He was eager to attend Appalachian State University and was overjoyed when he was accepted. However, things began to go wrong during his sophomore year. After a traffic accident and a temporary suspension from the university, Martin took a break, worked in fast food, and then decided to return to school through a local community college to recover his grades.
That morning, Martin told his roommates he was going to the library. He was last seen around 12:30 p.m. near the student center. It was a chance encounter with his cousin. Martin told her he was heading to see friends. Cameras at the bus stop captured him walking away in an unknown direction. He hasn't been seen since. When Martin's father couldn't reach him by phone, he raised the alarm. His phone, laptop, and a note were found in his room. The full contents of the note were never released, but police noted that Martin expressed disappointment in himself and felt he had failed his family. The investigation revealed that Martin had been leading a double life in recent weeks. He stopped attending college classes several weeks before his disappearance. He lied to his family about getting a job at a local restaurant. He was never hired. He had left all public chats with friends shortly before that day. Also found in the room were medications for emotional distress, which his doctor hadn't prescribed. It was discovered that Martin often went out for a walk with his cousin, but she later stated that they hadn't seen each other for months. Where he spent this time remains a mystery.
On the day of his disappearance, Martin took only his identification with him. His belongings, money, and even the food he'd bought a couple of days earlier were untouched. There was one unconfirmed report of a similar sighting near Trout Lake, but a search of the woods and bodies of water yielded nothing. 10 years later, Martin's family is still searching for answers. Was this a conscious decision to start anew, or did internal struggles lead to tragedy? Martin's description: he was 19 years old at the time of his disappearance. He was 5'9" tall, weighed approximately 145 pounds, had blue eyes and brown hair. He was wearing a black t-shirt, khaki shorts, and a university windbreaker, Apple State. 10 years without answer.
Many on Reddit are convinced the police know much more about these cases than they're telling us. Do you believe the official reports on Gursimran and Martin, or do you side with the families who continue to search for the truth? Let's vote in the comments for the investigation or for the family's version.